What up, crypto lovers and enthusiasts? Incredible last about 10 days, right? Pretty interesting last 10 days. Bitcoin has been moving up on fake news. Let's go over what's been happening there. We're going to look at the charts as well. We're going to look at Bitcoin, and we're going to highlight one altcoin that I purchased today called Welt. I had an interesting little chat in their Telegram chat with the CEO. Just quick, but I did want to point that out because it's telling of this crypto, of this project, and it did drop a little bit. We're going to look at the chart there too to see if it's a good opportunity, if it's a good crypto. I think it is because I bought some more today and I had already had my bags filled. And so without further ado, let's do this. Look at this beautiful chart by Bitcoin, right? Last 10 days just been going up and up and up and up and up. All right, so let's look at this information first, all right? BTC managed a monster rally over the past week on two spot ETF stories that turned out to be completely fugazi. Fugazi means fake, all right? A media outlet tweeted that BlackRock's spot ETF application had won SEC approval. Within minutes, the tweet had been revealed as a mistake, and Bitcoin quickly gave back some, but not all of its gains. This was by, I think, CoinDesk. CoinDesk, I think, made that fake tweet. Right, so we know that part, and Bitcoin did stay relatively strong. I think it was still like around here somewhere, right? So I mean, it stayed strong, guys, after news was debunked. Right, then early this week, some observers noticed the ticker for BlackRock's spot ETF IBTC showed up on trading clearinghouse DTCC's website. Market participants read the news as signaling imminent SEC approval of the fund. The bullish signal caught shorts and dealers off guard, leading to a price spike of $35,000 Monday evening. By Tuesday evening, though, it was revealed the IBTC's ticker had been on the DTCC site for months, and meant literally nothing with respect to whether a spot Bitcoin ETF might be coming or not. All right, interesting news there. And what happened? Nothing. This thing. Oh yeah, actually, that was yesterday. So it did drop back down, right? But here we are today, going right back up, going over. I think you guys can see this, right? This wick right here, right after it was shown that actually yesterday they even supposedly took that ticker off their site, right? And that caused the price to drop. And apparently later they put it back. This was this news. BlackRock's iShares spot Bitcoin ETF relisted on the DTT website, DTCC. I tried looking for it and I couldn't find it. I went on the website and I couldn't find it, but according to Watcher.guru, that it's back on there. And this was like 16 hours ago. Anyway, so it on this, I don't know, controversial news, fake news, I don't know what you want to call it, on these news details that aren't completely real, fugazi, as this story called it, it's still pretty much pumping, guys. Pretty much pumping. A lot of pent-up demand for Bitcoin, guys. All right, and by extension, crypto as well, guys. All right, so it's not these fake news is these two fake news reports that caused this pump. I think it did, but why has it stayed up? Why has the price not just rocketed back down like it rocketed back up? Well, some analysts argue that Bitcoin is in demand as a safe haven asset, noting prolific government spending and associated rising debt levels, shaky stock and bond markets, and the crypto's increasingly constrained supply. And here's a couple of things that I'd like to add to this. The constrained supply means we've seen stories that a lot of Bitcoin has been taken off of crypto exchanges, so there's a lot less supply available. Also, we've seen stories, and I've reported stories that usually there's two camps: long-term holders and short-term holders. See, right? And so who's in the driver's seat right now? The majority of holders right now are long-term holders, and so their way of doing things is a little bit different. They have a lot more conviction than the short-term holders do, so maybe that's another reason why we're not seeing a huge drop here. Okay, so that's something to note. Now let's get to the analysis. Now before I had this line right here at 35,782. That's really the only, other than these two ascending lines, the only line that I had above 30,000. Now today I added this right here, this marker of 2020, the end of 2023 into 2024. Okay, on this chart, and I also added this one right here, 44,754. Did I add another one? I don't think I did. Or did I? No, I didn't. Okay. So those are the only two lines that I added. All the other ones are old. That what you're seeing here, these are all old lines, and it's interesting how things kind of, I don't know, how these charts just kind of go within these lines. So for a while we were here, right? We were here. Let me make it a little bit more clear on this one. For a while we were here, right? Between these two, in this channel, basically between 25,000 and 31,688. This line here is 30,000, and man, it just ripped right through it on that fake news, on both those news, fake news. I guess we'll call them fake news, Fugazi news, whatever. Ripped right through it though, and now it could be that we are no longer here, right? As we approach the end of the year, it could be that now maybe we oscillate like we have been in here between 31,688 and 35,712, right? Between these two lines. Let's see what happens here. All right. Do we hit here, bump our head, and start coming back down, and maybe touching 31,000 again, before coming back up, or are we gonna rip right through it like we did 31,000, right? History says the first time we really don't. It took a while. It took months, right? It took months, and it took fake news for it to finally rip. Now, from what I gather, my hypothesis is now maybe the ETF won't happen this year. I know I've been going back and forth, but look at all this crazy news that's been coming out, guys. A lot of misdirection, I guess. I don't know, but the market really wants it to happen. Wants it to happen, and people are preparing themselves. I mean, to me, this is like people just preparing themselves for that eventual ETF approval. Okay, to me now, that ETF approval is starting to price itself in. Not completely though, not completely. Okay, so I don't know. Some people are saying that maybe we go up to 45,000, and if ETF approval does happen this year, I could see it happening. Like I said, I could see 40 or 50,000. Some people have it going even higher because there's a lot of money, billions and literally trillions of dollars that will come into the market. But just because the ETF approval happens this year doesn't mean that it'll start going. It'll go live, right? It'll go live this year. Although the BlackRocks and whatever companies get approved, they will start buying Bitcoin, so that'll drive the price up. But once it goes live, I think that's when we'll see even more money coming in, and that's when we'll see like some bigger pumps, and that would more than likely be next year. Even if the approval happens this year, it going live would be next year, right? So that's one thing to think about. So where could we go? At some point, we're gonna have to see some type of pullback, right? Because what goes up must come down. If we put a Fibonacci on this from the swing low, which was basically right here, to the swing high, and let's just say we top out there. At this point right now, unless it goes higher, which today is looking like maybe it does, maybe we do reach up to 35,800 today. But right now, the 618, which is something that we do go back to, would go as low as 28,000. The 618 would be at 28,000. All right, 786 would be right back to 27,000. All right, so that's something of interest. We'd have to break the support, which hasn't been tested yet. If this is in fact an area of support, 30,000, a psychological level right here. This line, this dotted line, or whatever, or however you want to call it, dotted line, I guess, hasn't also been tested yet. Do I think that we go below this right now, as I see things, unless there's a major black swan? I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. So right now, I think we are in buy the dip by the dip territory. I thought we were here as well. All right. So, I mean, but now more so than ever, if we get some downside, I'd buy that dip. I'd buy that dip because this is looking strong, you know, and maybe we are now in this new area, you know, unless the Bitcoin gets approved, then maybe we go up to this area or even higher, you know. Bitcoin does tend to surprise us, but I like to be conservative in my analysis, you know, and be pleasantly surprised. But I also like to be ready for whatever situation, whatever way it breaks. All right. So this is something to think about. Really interesting. All right. So I don't know. I think the lows are definitely in. The higher we go, and I just don't see us even going back down here. Do we go back down to 25,000? It's looking less and less likely, you know. Maybe we do come up here. Maybe we do play with this ascending line, you know, this year. Boom, boom, boom. Try to break through and get up to around 44,000 before maybe getting stopped out and ending the year around there. But I'm going to stick to what I said originally, between 30 and 35,000. I thought maybe the low end now, maybe it still could go back to the low end, really. So I'm just going to say between 30 and 35,000. I'm pleasantly surprised if we end the year higher. And I would also be somewhat surprised if we end the year lower. I really don't see us going much lower than really this level, than 29,212. All right, so that's some short-term analysis right there. Let's see what happens. And now let's get to the one altcoin, although there are a lot of altcoins that I would love to discuss, like Naka and everything. Look at this, it's going to like $1. But I'm not going to. I'm going to just focus on this one little token called Welt. Why? Because this is my average buy, and that's actually should be lower now. I should go back and see what my average buy is, because this ascending trend line from 26th of January 2023, right? We've basically been around it, right? For the most part of this year, we've been above it. This morning I saw this and I'm like, oh, this is weird. This drop below. I didn't expect that. I thought we would be like right here doing what we did here. But then I did look back and I did notice that on July 21st, 2023, we did have something very similar. And then it came, right back up. All right. So let's make it a little closer. So you can see right here, and then it came back up, played with it, and then boom. Could that be something that is repeating right now? All right. I didn't know exactly why this happened. And I'm like, oh, I kind of want to buy. Although my bags are already packed, I'm like, let me just add a little bit to lower my average anyways. I bought here, I think yesterday, I think so, yesterday or the day before. And I'm like, it's here. It was down here before, lower than this large wick where it's at currently. So I'm like, okay, let me go into the community and see what happens. So I did. It's important to go in the community, guys, and chat. You know, some communities are better than others. You want to be in the communities that are better than others. You want to be in the projects where the communities are better than others. All right. So I came in and I'm asking, like, hey, is there any news that came out? What happened? What happened? You know, and whale dumping or something like that. This guy Abhishek Pagada. No, he said no. Right. I didn't see the CEO part of it. I didn't know that the guy was the CEO. But it's cool that the CEO is actually in this group and talking and chatting. You know what I mean? Not every CEO does that. Very, very few. You know. All right. So I'm like, okay, cool. I said, then I'm gonna pick up some more. Then we're just chatting a little bit more. Let's see what he says. Some guy said that he's extremely bullish on it, and I made this statement. What did I say? I just talked about the chart that I saw, and he's like, smart statement. And he's like, regarding Abhishek Pagada, we aren't doing anything bad. In fact, I can say a lot of promising stuff coming up. Today we had a great day, irrespective of the dump. Let's talk next week what's coming up. And I thought that was an interesting statement. So they got something up their sleeves. So I'm like, that's kind of bullish, you know. And so that's what I mentioned that. And he also said, according to me, whales aren't the ones who hold more Welt. Whales are who hold Welt for long. So this I interpreted as saying, you know, he expects the price to go up because based on what he's seeing, what he's doing, right? Although that's not exactly what he said, but that's how I interpreted it. Okay. So I'm like, you expect big things out of yourself, your team, and your project, huh? He says, no, I expect we make a statement of why we believe crypto gaming is is prominent use case of blockchain, and together with community, of course. And then he just added to that statement, 60% of Polygon transactions are from gaming, because they're on the Polygon network as well. They're also on BSC network. Let's see. I think that's all that this guy said. Let me see. Yeah, that's all that he said. But I mean, that was telling. He didn't even have to chime in or say anything. And I think he said some interesting things in the community. He's obviously very bullish. He obviously believes in himself. So I'm like, okay, this to me is an opportunity, and probably will be something like this. Hopefully, unless it drops more, which if it does, maybe I'll buy a little more, and then that's it, because I'm already over where I wanted to buy. So that's that. Let's look really quickly at Welt so you know what the numbers are for it. They're a gaming play, obviously. 0.069. It's been a while since they've been at that level. Pretty good tokenomics, just slightly under 50%. Max supply of 500 million. Fully diluted market cap 3.4. Right now, the market cap is 1.5. Really new. Look at the volume, 423,000. There's interest in this game. All right. PancakeSwap is where I buy. You can also buy in BitTrue, QuickSwap, Bitmart. PancakeSwap is actually kind of pricey compared to the other ones right now, anyways. Right, because you can buy it on Bitmart for 6.00655. Right now, PancakeSwap is 0.0073. So that's something. That's something if you wanted to get it a little better. Yeah, you'd probably buy it there on Bitmart. But that's a centralized exchange. To be in the top 50, at least in the BSC, all you need to be a top 50 holder, all you need is just slightly over 300,000. Right, 295,000. So that's interesting. Still relatively new in the project. I've seen the game. I've gotten feedback from the game. People are really interested in this. This is a crypto that is, if it's not on your watch list, at the minimum it should be. And maybe right now this is a really good time to buy. Look at that. This dip got eaten up pretty fast. And then with everything else that's going on in the crypto market, with the way that Bitcoin seems to be moving, looking very bullish, if you're looking for a project, maybe Welt might be one of them. So I wanted to put that on your radar. We're going to leave it there, guys. All right. Some quick TA, some quick analysis of the market, bring you up to date on what's going on. And Welt looking interesting. CEO, thank you for talking to me, chatting with me out of the blue. Interesting statements, maybe telling statements. And maybe Welt is in a good buying zone right now to accumulate. Obviously don't go all in on any project unless you really believe in it. And obviously, even if you do go all in, make sure you use the strategy of dollar cost averaging, which is what I do. Every now and again, I will throw in a bigger chunk because I believe in it and I think it's good timing. Sometimes you can do that, but for the most part, DCA. All right, we're gonna leave it there, guys. Let's see what happens this week. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try to focus more on looking at charts of the different altcoins that have moved, that some that haven't moved, to get an idea. Because right now, for me, I want to still accumulate. While that window of accumulation season starts closing, I want to make sure my bags are overpacked. All right, right now they're packed and ready to go, but I want to add a little more if I could, because this bull run that's coming up, in my opinion, is going to be massive. All right, take it for what it's worth. Do with that information what you will, guys. If you can, please like, subscribe. All right, if you can leave a message, not a message. Jesus, I'm old. I'm 43 now. If you can leave a comment, that'd be cool too. That helps the algorithms, and I really want to grow this English channel as big as I can get it. Right? If you can do that, that'd be cool. Appreciate it. Click on the bell to receive all notifications, because I do a video Monday through Friday. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.